Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great morning. So today I want to start off with a quick prayer. It's about 6:22 a.m. my time and 9:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're just a few minutes away from the opening bell. So let's do this. Heavenly Father, I thank you for another day and for another opportunity to grow in wisdom and discipline. Lord, guide my mind, my patience, and my emotions today. Help me to trade with clarity, integrity, and self-control, not out of greed or fear, but with purpose and peace. Let this live stream be a blessing, not just for me, but for everyone watching, that we all may learn and walk in your wisdom. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, perfect. So, what I want to do is I want to do something a little bit different today. Yesterday um, wasn't really great as far as trading goes at all. Um, I know for me, I haven't really been sticking to a some type of trading protocol or framework or some type of checklist to keep me accountable for what I'm doing and the mistakes that I'm making, especially as I'm trading live now. So what I want to try to do is I've created a checklist and I want to start going over this pre-market checklist every single day, and it's just the EdgeToEquity trading framework. So it just keeps me accountable, helps me to stay on top of what I need to stay on top of as far as my trading goes, and to make sure that I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's before I actually come into the market and take a position. And that way you guys can kind of see, my new routine that I'm going to be implementing every single trading session. And, it just basically it's going to help me keep me, accountable. I'm not saying that it's going to help me start, winning a significant amount, but I think if I can keep a keep my mindset right, follow my checklist, follow my rules that are in place, then I believe that, the P&L is not so much the P&L is not going to matter so much, but it's the process behind it. And I think the process will carry on to, great trading, whether I win or I lose. It's just part of the game. But I think that, it'll definitely help me to keep my mind right, especially as I'm doing this new endeavor with live streaming. So, without further ado, what I want to do real quick is I want to just go over the trading checklist. So, I've already, environment mindset, I've already got 6 hours of sleep, I have a clear head, did my mobility and breathing this morning. Affirmations, one to two A plus trades only, process over P&L, no distractions or social media tabs open. I don't really go on social media at all, so don't have to really worry about that. And then let's see. So I'll go over this briefly. It's about 9:26, almost to the open. So I already marked out yesterday's volume area high, and you can see from this green line at 67.8150. This is the previous day volume area high. I also have the volume area point of control that's extended out from previous day, and then I have the previous day volume area low that's extended out and marked out too, that's in red. And then I have the current session's point of control marked out. It looks like the value area is the dotted line, so this is all pre-open. This is right before 9:30. So what I want to see is I want to see if point of control, the volume area high and volume area low, I want to see if as price goes on and time goes on, I want to see if these shift or if they stay balanced. That's going to tell me a story before I actually get into a trade on what to expect, if we're trending or if we're, you know, basically trading within this range. There's no movement, there's no migration between point of control and these volume area highs and lows, then there's a possible fade opportunity or mean reversion opportunity for me. So we have that marked out. Identified and tested HVN, LVN, those are high volume nodes. So from what I'm seeing a low value node down here at 67.64 all the way down to 67.59 from previous day. And then I see a high volume node from 67.84 down to 67.82 roughly. So high volume nodes is usually where price is accepted. So you'll see, price a lot of times consolidate. It could bounce off, but it usually gravitates back to the high volume node. Same thing with point of control. They're almost like one and the same. The low volume nodes, though, especially if we're inside the range from yesterday, then those can act like support and resistance. And a lot of times, especially yesterday, price bounces off, takes out the overnight low, bounces off, and there was a clean opportunity that I missed going into the high volume node, and that was a clean reversal trade that I just did not get a part of because I was impatient. So that's the reason why I'm looking to mark these out to kind of help me see what's going on a little bit more clearly. Then I have the overnight lows and then overnight high as well. Let me mark this out. Okay, so 9:30 has just opened. All right, perfect. So some of these questions, I want to just answer some of these context questions, see where I'm currently at. So for me, this is all of yesterday's low point all the way up to its high point. So what I want to ask myself is, are we trading within yesterday's value area high, value area low, or just, the whole value area? And right now we currently are. So we are trading inside of yesterday's volume area. And then overnight range, are we looking wide or is it narrow? And from what I'm seeing, we're looking a little bit narrow, pretty balanced. We're not, expanding over, yesterday's value area or under value area. So we're just pretty balanced. Nothing has really moved so far. 10 a.m. news. Let's see what we have. So we don't have news until tomorrow, so don't have to worry about that. And then overnight, point of control. So from overnight, let's see. Probably delete this. So overnight from yesterday, we had at around the 67.79 area. So we did end up shifting down for today's session at 67.74. So we did shift downward. Doesn't mean that we're going to go bearish, but that is something that I like to take a note of just to give me some more context on what's going on. And then opening scenarios, This is just for something, for me to have a quick guide on. Anything inside yesterday's value usually is a balanced day, and there's a fade developing between volume area high and volume area low, target POC, or the other side of volume. If it's above previous day's volume area high, then we're looking at an initiative up, wait for a pullback or acceptance into either the higher volume node or lower volume node if it does trade through those, and we're looking for a pullback acceptance for a long bias, and then below volume area low from previous day, we're looking for a short bias. But it's just there to give me some, ideas of what to expect based on what's going on. And I like to look from, 9:30 to 9:45. I want to make sure that I take no trades. I'm just observing only. I don't want to get into the market, but main thing I want to do is I want to watch the opening drive, where volatility is, where direction price is going. I want to monitor the developing point of control, whether it stays flat. And when I say it stays flat, it stays within the pre-open POC that I marked out, or if it's migrating past that point, either above or under. And then I want to look at the overnight box edges. These are the pre-open volume area high, pre-open POC, pre-open value area low. And this is also the low volume nodes and also high volume nodes. I want to see how price reacts once it gets into these overnight edges, because I want to see if price is going to be absorbed and we have a possible reversal pattern that happens, or if price trades through with high volume, then I would want to see a retracement and a continuation move for a trend day. And then after 9:45, I want to mark off the opening range. So that's just the first 15 minutes of the market open. I'll mark out the high, the low, and then also where the midpoint is, because that would also tell me a lot too. And like I said, there will be no trades for the first 15 minutes. And then after that, we'll look at the structure, confirmation, see what's going on, and then the execution window. So all these have to match up for me to want to take a trade. And I'm just following, based on my context, what I see and my checklist, then that will determine what kind of trading day it would be, whether it's going to be trending or whether it's going to be a fade type of day. So all in all, that is the checklist that I will now follow. So I'm going to turn that off, get this off the screen for a minute. Okay, so we're trading into the volume. So we took out overnight low. We're trading into the lower volume node. And this is on the 5-minute chart. So now, since we're still inside of yesterday's value, we're not expanding outside unless we can break this low at 67.59. I'm looking to see how price is going to absorb into this lower volume node area. And basically what I want to see is if it is going to absorb and reverse, I want to see a high volume spike coming into this area, bearish. And then I want to see buyers start coming in and start taking these orders. And then I want to see a shift up, retracement back into the short-term price leg, and then I want to target usually either the overnight high or going into the higher volume node, because price is accepted at those areas, and a lot of times you want to start trying to take profit in those areas because price will consolidate, it will chop, but sometimes it can trade through. I know it did yesterday, so that's what we're looking at. So we did take overnight low. We also have the point of control shifting. We have the today's volume area low shifted a little bit, and then we have the volume area high shifted somewhat too. So it's about 9:38. We'll just give it a few more minutes, see how price wants to play out in this situation. So currently I'm in the observation phase from 9:30 to 9:45. Let's see how this opening range forms from 9:30 to 9:45, and then we'll look at the structure confirmation and determine, what's going on before the execution window. And usually the execution window for me, I want to look at trades anywhere from 9:50 to 10:15 in the morning. Sometimes you get opportunity at 9:45, but I don't mind waiting 5 minutes to have some type of confirmation on what's going on. So we took out this overnight low. We traded back into the pre-open point of control. This is the updated point of control that's going on as price moves. So we did shift down a little bit, but I want to see if we continue to come to the downside and maybe take this low out as well, or this could be part of a early retracement as well too. But it looks like since we're inside of yesterday's value area, its trading range, then it could be a possible fade type of day and not a trend continuation day. So we'll possibly look at, a fade opportunity. But I want to see what price does going into the 9:45 to 10 a.m. going into the execution window as well. And to be honest, I don't like a lot of stuff on my chart. Usually I trade with a clean chart, but this just kind of helps me to determine where these major volume areas are. So these really are the only indicators that I'm going to use, if you would even call it indicators. This is all based on, order flow volume is. So It's a part of the market, but I'm going to start implementing this into my trading to give me a little bit more context about what's going on. So we're a few minutes away from 9:45. I mean, this could be the fade move that I'm looking at, or currently, what I wanted to see, but not so early at 9:45. So, but a lot of times price will come up, might tap into, this area again and then come back down for a much larger retracement before expanding to the upside again. So this might be happening a little bit earlier than expected, but that's no problem. So my trade window at least is until 10:15. I want to see some type of price action that aligns with what I'm looking at, or that's part of my trading plan, and execute. So okay, so I'm gonna mark out the opening range high and low. So 9:30. Okay, so we have that marked out. So observation phase, POC, flat, migrating trend. I would definitely say we're still flat for the most part. For the point of control, we haven't really shifted anywhere significant, so we're more so in balanced price range at the moment. Recorded the opening range high, low of the first 15 minutes. Took no trades. Okay. So, like I said, I think that it's probably going to be, because the point of control is flat today. We're still within previous day's inside range. So it might be a fade opportunity today. So I want to see price possibly come back into this lower volume area, or at least retrace back into previous day's value area low for a potential fade opportunity going to the upside. So we'll see about that. So let's see how price reacts coming back down, because this might be just a bigger retracement. We are trading into point of control, but I want to see it get a little bit deeper if we're going to have this significant retracement. So I would say there's a early retracement happening before 10 a.m. We did take out this overnight low. I would definitely say that volume was absorbed, but price can come back down and retest this lower volume node area. So that's what I'm going to keep eye on, but if anything, I want to see price retest this previous day volume area low. And we have the pre-open before 9:30. We have the current, which is these dots. That's the one that's shifting. So these are all volume area lows that we're looking at. And we have a pretty significant wick too, so this is all price absorption. And then also, yesterday I took 3 trades. I broke my rules, so today, if I win the first one, I'm done. If I lose the first one, I'll get a second opportunity, but then I'm done. 2 trades a day, and that's it. I would rather win the first one so I can be done for the day. So we're trading within the opening range, midpoint. I think we can possibly expand a little bit lower. We'll possibly retest or come down to this volume area low. But this can also shift up too. I'm just waiting to see if there's going to be a little bit more of a pullback down into volume area low. Because we already had price absorption. We could have more, but I think this is going to be the price leg that we're looking for. We might end up actually having an opportunity here. But let's see. I think I do like this opportunity actually. So I'm going to take this buy for 6 contracts.
Order filled.
So I'm in. I'm going to put my stop at 67, 68 area.
Order submitted.
I just think that we absorbed price down here at the lower volume area, low volume node. We came up, retrace. We've been trading inside of the opening range, halfway point or midpoint. And I think that we can continue to expand to the upside. You know, I could be wrong. I could be early, but we're going to find out real quick if I am correct. Okay, so I'm going to move my stop up to 67.70. I'm going to put my take profit at 67.83.
Order submitted.
67.83.25. So let's see what happens. I'm looking at a 1 to 2.2, 1 to 2.12 risk to reward. Technically, I should be 6 contracts, but $67, $69, $75. So let's see what price wants to do here. I'm in a little bit of drawdown. I could have gotten in too early because price could want to, come back down here and retest. But based on my rules, like I said, there's volume absorption in the low volume node. We had an expansion. We traded back into the opening range midpoint. We've been consolidating there. And this is part of a retracement that I like to see, a fade opportunity. So, either way, I would probably say that I did follow my rules. Obviously I can always get better, but I wouldn't be upset if the trade doesn't play out. Obviously I want the trade to play out, but I'm at the point now where process matters over anything else. Yes, son. Yeah, let's see if we can get a bounce off of this point of control area. So I'm still in drawdown currently. We're at 67.73 area. I want to see some type of price absorption in this point of control area, and I want to see price shift up from this. Yeah, price could want to just come back down here and retest too. That's also something that could happen. Yeah, it's not looking too good on this one.
Order filled.
Yeah.
Order canceled.
Probably would have been better to have my stop down here, but mm, mm. So now let's see if price wants to come down here, retest it. My bias is still fading this action and going up. I'll get in again, depending on how these candles form. Can't be upset about that though, because I did get in on a strong bullish candle out of the retracement, so it's just maybe stop placement. So I'm gonna get in again. I think for me it was just stop placement. 6 contracts.
Order
Okay,
filled.
so I'm in again. Another buy. I'm gonna have my stop at this low at 67.68, which I probably should have had already
Order submitted.
because I'll still be in the trade, but 67.68.50. You know, whatever happens, happens. And then I'm at my take profit. Yeah, we're expanding lower, so
Order
is what it is.
submitted.
67, 84, 75. So I'm looking for a 1 to 2.1 risk to reward. I'm looking at the top of the high volume area or high volume node. Yeah, if this trade plays out, then I'd know that, you know, I need to be a little bit more generous with my stop loss area, not have it so tight. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just better to be safer than sorry. Also, too, I think I'm going to take off at least 4 contracts at this high at 67.81,
Order submitted. Order canceled.
and then take the remaining 2 off at the top of the high volume node at 67.84.
Order submitted.
Oops.
Order canceled.
Definitely don't want to do 24 contracts.
Order submitted.
Yeah, that's one thing about getting into price at the point of control. It's just nothing but consolidation, and price can go either way, to be honest. All right, consolidating a little bit at the point of control area. So see if we can get some type of expansion to the upside. I would still be in this trade too if I would have just kept my stop where it should have been. But you live and you learn. I lost $135, so I was still under the $150 risk amount. So I'm happy about that. I might be slightly over leveraged currently. 5.7. I went 6 contracts, but I'm not going to dwell on that. Can't get it perfect every time. But this is my second and this is the last trade too. So whether it works, great. If it doesn't, great. Just have to reevaluate my plan and see what I can improve on. So we're approaching break even at 67.74. So let's see if we can get some expansion to the upside now. And my plan was to, if it comes down, gets this overnight low, trades into the lower volume node, especially if it's within yesterday's price area or value area, it absorbs. And you can see with this wick candle how buying pressure came back in, absorbed all of the selling pressure, bounced out of it, traded within the midpoint of the opening range, 15-minute area, consolidated. Point of control is right here in this area too. So I wanted to get into this retracement. Now my stop was a little bit too close, so I have to work on that. But my plan was to, based on the context that we came up with, was to get into this retracement area for a fade buy opportunity. So I did just that. So I can't be upset about it. The only thing that I could take as a lesson is don't put your stops too close. Let the trade play out. I get so fixated on the risk to reward, but I need to be more focused on executing the trading plan more so than anything. So we've been held up at this area for a while now, so it's either we expand to the upside or we just continue getting rejected and we come back down. So I'm not too sure, what we're going to be doing. Yeah, we're coming back lower, so we basically rejected the pre-open point of control. So let's see if we can get some rejection down here before it hits my stop. Yeah, price probably wants to come back down and retest, so at this point, there's nothing really I can do. Hopefully we get some absorption in this area since we had a high volume spike bearish, but who knows. Yeah, it's
Order
not looking
filled.
good. Yep, stopped out. So
Order canceled. Order canceled.
it's been a little bit rough start for me. Yeah, so lost 300. My countdown, I don't like this, but I've been in drawdown before. It's at $24,480.87. So it hasn't been the greatest start. Been trading this since last Wednesday. This account hasn't been great, so You know, I'm sure price is now going to want to come back up, so see what price wants to do real quick before I end the stream, because I don't want to take another trade. So we are coming back down, retesting the previous day volume area low. Yeah, it's just one of them days I didn't even barely in profit. Every trade I took was already in drawdown, so it's just one of those days, you know. So price end up taking this overnight low. See if there's a high volume spike coming in, possible absorption. Let's see what happens. I know shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna take out this overnight. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna put a limit order though. Maybe that's what I need to start doing. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, doesn't. 67, 76.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
So let's see what happens. Just putting a limit order out there. It may not even come back. It just probably will expand. Yeah, it'd probably expand without me, unfortunately. So I don't know, maybe it could continue bearish too. That's also a possibility. See if the limit order gets filled.
Order filled.
Yeah, the limit order was filled, but I don't know how confident I am for this to want to continue bullish. We'll see how price gets absorbed at this point. I think if this trade works out, I think going forward, I'm just gonna. For me, market orders can be impulsive sometimes, and I'd rather just place limit orders. And price is gonna do what it's gonna do. So I'm taking it off the previous day volume area low and volume area low that's current. So, I mean, it's as strong as support as it's going to get. If it doesn't work, then just a 3-loser day like yesterday, which definitely hurts, but it's part of the game. I'm going to be right back.
Order filled.
Yeah, today was not a good day at all. Um, Yesterday wasn't either, so a lot to work on, but appreciate you guys watching. It's about almost 10:25. I will be live tomorrow, and yeah, we'll figure this out. So appreciate you guys. Take
Order
care and God
canceled.
bless.